phenomenal shoot, an iconic shoot, one of the greatest shoots ever with Entertainment Weekly. The inspiration for the cover is a character who I created a few years back called Dwayne Claus. Dwayne Claus is coming to town.
Hey everybody, and welcome back to What the Hell Happened to Them? Dwayne The Rock Johnson marches on. I am your host, Patrick Skeyhill, and joining me on the line is a level 4 naughty lister, Joe Vekeman.
Yeah.
And on the audio boards is Liv Van Rensselaer, reminding me to remind you to email the cast at whathappenedtothemcast@gmail.com. And our sponsor this week is all malls. All the malls left in America, all 4 of them, reminding you that Christmas is coming quickly, and definitely, for the love of God, shop there, and or if you are of a certain age, power walk around. All right, Joe, what movie are we doing this week?
We watched the not straight to Amazon movie, straight to theaters first. They were trying to cash in on some investment. Finally, we watched Red One.
Red One,
starring Dwayne Johnson.
Also known as The Fast and the Snow Flurrious, White Christmas Down, Seasons Beatings, North by North Pole, The Santa, the Witch, and the Snow Globes, Silent Night, Krampus Nacht, and Jingle All the Slay Me Now, Please.
I liked North by North Pole. I liked White Christmas Down. Is that what it was?
Yeah.
That's good.
Joe, what happens in the movie with all those titles?
Well, let me tell you. There's a lot of sighing going on here. After Santa Claus, codename Red One, is kidnapped, the North Pole's head of security, Mr. Dwayne The Rock Johnson, must team up with the world's most infamous bounty hunter, Chris Evans, in a globe-trotting, action-packed mission to save Christmas.
I thought it was odd that you call him a bounty hunter, and I kind of remember them doing that too. He just never seemed to do any bounty hunting.
Yeah, he's like a serial kleptomaniac.
He's a kleptomaniac. He was like hacker guy. I thought he was just like hacker dude, and he could find people with his hacking skills.
Yeah.
And I didn't need to see a lot of bounty hunting from him. If that opening thing where he sneaks into a room to do hacking was some kind of bounty hunting thing.
Whoa. Hold up.
Yeah?
What do you mean the opening? This movie opened on children.
Okay, all right.
Sneaking in.
The present day opening.
Oh, okay.
Present, right, where he steals that woman's badge to go in the place.
Yeah, that was a lot for nothing.
Yeah, he opened up with like an action-y sequence.
He interrupted a yoga class. He started a fire.
Speaking of the kids, did it get you? Did it hit you in like the sentimental nards when like kids were like, Santa's not real, and you were like, oh, I hope my kids never think that someday.
True, but also the kid's a little fucking punk. He's a punk.
That's why he's on the naughty list, Joe.
Yeah, the naughty list.
I was wondering if him being a fat child was ever going to come up or matter, and it didn't seem to. So I wonder why they made that casting choice.
Do you think he's supposed to be a little handsome Chris Evans looking kid?
I mean, I didn't know he was going to become Chris Evans. I just there's this kid who looks like that ginger kid that Colin Farrell had, and
oh my god, I was just going to say that.
So I'm like, you don't cast that unless you're like trying to make a point, and I don't know what the point was unless he was the son of somebody famous on that set.
I was going to bring up our favorite season 2 of any show, where Mr. Colin Farrell has an overweight, redheaded, not stepchild.
Yeah, his real
does
child.
not look anything like him.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm not trying to be mean, but it's like, this is the child he would have had if he was in his penguin gimmick. It's a very large child, and this kid, he's a little portly.
Yes.
But yeah, I had a feeling it was gonna be Chris Evans because I'm like, that That's not Dwayne.
Which Chris is this?
This is Captain America.
Okay.
This is the Chris Evans guy that said, well, I have to make these kind of movies because no one goes to see my good movies. And everyone, the collective internet's like, what are your good movies?
Black Hat. And
That's Chris Hemsworth.
Oh.
That's Thor.
What about that one? Who's Jason Sudeikis' wife?
Well, they divorced, but you're thinking of Olivia Wilde.
Yeah. What movie ruined that marriage? Was he in that one?
No, that's Chris Pine.
That's
so rude.
Christ.
Chris Pine is definitely the handsomest of all.
What
Chris's.
about the detective James Bond, Knives Out? What? Who's in that one?
That's Chris Evans.
Okay. Got one.
That's one.
I took the tour.
I get one. I got one.
I ended up doing all three.
That's.
I mean, I didn't like any of those movies, so it doesn't matter. But
well, people say that's like his good one, and they're like, well, are you gonna make any other good ones?
I mean, that didn't feel all that different from this movie. I won't lie.
Well,
I guess technically less stupid.
Yeah.
Surprise, surprise, Joe. This movie's produced by Danny and Hiram Garcia.
That's right.
Story by Hiram.
Yep. All this is true. Did you see all the production companies?
I definitely saw $7. I saw MGM and Amazon Company, which kind of broke my heart a little bit.
It did. They bought that a little while ago.
I know they did it. Just seeing it under the big lion banner, I was like,
Yep.
you fuckers.
They changed it. They say art for art's sake now, and then they like go back to the Latin. Did you notice that?
No, I was really
dumb it
distracted by
down.
the Amazon right under the thing. Oh yeah, Amazon, art for art's sake. Very well known for Amazon's art for art's sake.
You know, they started out that way when they were like giving out these movie like big budget things. Or
I mean,
like,
they
at
all
least-
did, right? That's how every streamer did it.
Yeah.
It's weird that that's their way to break in when Hollywood's not even bothering with, like, they're like, oh, we just got to make the stupid red ones. That's what we got to do.
Well, now Hollywood's like, what? And all the indie studios are like, how about this movie that looks intriguing, has a very like small budget, maybe 1 or 2 stars. Go out there, make some money, and it makes like $20 million. You're like, whoa, it made money! And I'm like, that's what we used to do, you dumbasses.
I know, but it's just so easy. Like, if one of them gets a runaway hit, Amazon could just come in and buy it, and now they make crap again. Or,
That's true.
Like, this is what happened in the 90s. Like, it's all right, go on.
Yeah. Well, so yep, you mentioned $7 Productions. We also have The Detective Agency.
I do not know.
And lastly, we have Chris Morgan Productions.
I don't know who that is.
Chris Morgan is one of the head writers on the Fast and Furious franchise until I think the last one. He does have sole screenplay credit on this movie.
Well, I'm sure he's proud of that.
Sure is, maybe.
How many people were in your theater?
Actually, there was about like 10 or 12.
Hey, a lot better than the 3 you thought you were getting.
The 3, including me. I'm included in that 10 or 12.
I would say I had about 10 or 12, but my theater was a lot bigger than yours. But listen, I tried to be fair, and I'm here. It's 2:00 on a Thursday afternoon.
Yep.
Let me look at what other seats are sold out. It seems to be doing fairly okay in non-IMAX screens, I imagine because they're more expensive. Mm-hmm. And I don't know, probably not what they want. I imagine they spent, $200 million more
Ooh.
on this movie? Yeah, more? 250?
250. This is one of the highest budgeted movies this year that came out.
Wow. It didn't need to be, and it didn't look like it was.
Well, it's really funny. I guess the 2 highest budgeted movies this year, besides Dune, was this and Deadpool and Wolverine. You know, The Rock's buddy, who doesn't show up in the movie. Were you surprised?
I was very happy that who's his name? Which one is it? Evans? Chris Evans?
Chris Evans, yeah.
I was very happy when Chris Evans was not Ryan Reynolds because I could very much see that alternate reality.
God, that would be
It almost felt like it
dreadful.
was written for him to do.
Could have been, yeah. But he's like, I'm too busy making my Deadpool movie.
Yes, like that scene where The Rock and him first meet in the interrogation room, and like all these little stupid elf? What is it? Just felt like a chance for Ryan Reynolds to do stupid Ryan Reynolds things.
Say what?
So I'm glad that didn't happen. And where were we going with this?
It's a real poochie.
I didn't altogether hate the idea of it.
Oh, I did.
This like Santa being, I don't know, having this
security team,
like this like bureaucracy to like get everything rolling, and having to do all these run throughs and practice and train all year and strategize like what routes he's gonna take. I didn't hate that. Then there's behind the scenes peek, and like there used to be like a little small workshop where they made everything when the world was a lot simpler and less populated, and now it's become this big conglomerate type Santa workshop thing. And I'm like, okay. Then Lucy Liu comes in and turns it into like that TV show Grimm, and I liked it a lot less. Lucy Liu also not giving one of her best performances, but I don't blame her.
You think she checked out a little bit?
I think she's extremely checked out of this movie.
But she's got like 3 scenes.
Her first scene is like just her on the screen, and I'm like, all right, maybe she's bad here because she's just like in a green screen by herself and just is like, I miss real acting. What the fuck is this? But then she started like coming into scenes with people and was still doing the same thing, and I was like, all right, you just don't want to be there. I don't blame you, Lucy. You deserve better.
Yeah.
You were in Ballistics X versus Sever. Like, you don't need this.
Was that her?
I think, oh God, I hope it was her. It's her and Antonio Banderas. No?
How do you spell that fucking movie?
I think Ballistics ends with an X, and X begins with an E.
I was going to write Sever.
Now you're going to get Severus Snape, you dummy.
No, I'm just going to have to... God, this is so annoying.
I'm not jumping up to the top of the Google
because
SEO.
Letterboxd is a little weird, and if you spell one letter wrong, they're like, that doesn't exist.
Okay. I'm not looking on there. I'm looking on real searching.
I got it.
Okay, 2002.
You're right. Antonio Banderas and Greg Henry.
This is a movie that needs to be remade by Pablo Almodovar.
Why?
Because it's got Antonio Banderas in it.
Okay, that's all it takes.
Yeah, and then you swap out Lucy Liu with Selma Hayek or Penelope Cruz.
This
and
has
like,
a
you're all set.
1.8 rating on Letterboxd. That's dreadful.
Yeah, budget of $70 million, a box office of $20 million.
There is an actor whose character's name is Ross Sniper.
That's his code name, I guess.
Yeah.
You've also got Jeremy X, Lucy Liu, just called Jeremiah X. I'm sorry.
Jeremiah.
A director I've never heard of, whose name maybe is Witch. That's a crazy name.
Chaosianata.
Or directed a movie recently, so the movie didn't tank his career. Paradise Z.
That's the movie? Mm-hmm. Oh, I'm not even seeing that on a Letterboxd.
These might be a lot of Thai, East Asia films. Fa, Tekken.
Yeah, he did Tekken 2, One Night in Bangkok.
Did a movie called Hannah's Game underneath the poster, but the poster itself seems to make me think it's called Latency.
These are we this checked out of Red One already? We're talking about Ballistic X versus Sever.
I didn't overall hate the movie as much as I was expecting. And like, I didn't like it, but I didn't hate. I thought I was going to go in and be like, this movie's unwatchable. But we've watched way worse rock films. Yes, we have. Uh-huh. Yes,
no,
we have,
not when you
Joe.
fuck with Christmas. Don't fuck with
Joe.
Christmas. No.
Joe, they took a new twist on Christmas. I'm okay with it.
The only thing I can say positively about this movie is that the Krampus makeup, which was practical for the most part, looked really good. That's where I draw the line. That's it.
Trying to bring in all these other Christmas mythologies. See, the big reveal of the witch, I go like, yeah, all right, I don't know who that is, so whatever. But then he goes, and his stepbrother, Krampus. And I go, oh, I know that guy. All right. Didn't see this coming. Let's check that out. But then I thought back, I'm like, this is kind of how the Sandler season eventually went, where I was just like, well, better than X, better than so-and-so. So not so bad.
Were you surprised to see The Waitress?
From Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Yeah.
I mean, I caught her name in the credits, but it was like the last name, and I go, she's gonna get like some shitty. He's getting called to be like, go get your kid, and I go, that's gonna be her. We're gonna see her for like 3 scenes. She's never gonna be on set with anybody.
Two more scenes than when we actually got.
Unfortunate.
Bonnie Hunt as Mrs. Claus.
Yeah, did we have her in the podcast already?
I believe we did on... We definitely had her on something. Some Julia movie, probably.
No, I thought it was what's the news movie with Jack?
The news movie?
Yeah, broadcast news.
No, she's not in broadcast news. She's actually had a very small filmography.
Who's the woman in broadcast news? That's not Bonnie Hunt?
No.
I'm looking it up.
Holly Hunter.
Ah!
You had a part of the hunt. I guess she hasn't been in anything that we've covered.
All right. What about Helen Hunt? Have we had her in a movie?
No.
Bonnie Hunt had a TV show.
The Bonnie Hunt Show? Life with Bonnie.
Yes, there it is.
Oh, and Bonnie. 95 to 96.
I was not around for Bonnie, or wasn't paying attention during Bonnie. But I remember Life with Bonnie.
Yeah.
Not watching it very often.
Well, I know Bonnie Hunt from my Cars experience. She plays
really?
Sally on Cars.
Yeah, and there's the twist. Spoilers, everybody. The call was coming from inside the North Pole.
The whole
inside
time.
the workshop. I didn't hate that either. I don't know. I didn't like they bring in the Headless Horseman, and I go like, I don't want to do that. And the internet trolls are real trolls, and I'm like, I get it. Like, I didn't want that. There's a polar bear elf, I guess. But like when we were just in the Christmas thing and trying to live there, it was fine enough for me, right? They have that animated film where all the mythological people team up. It's animated. What's that called?
Animated film?
It's like they're like a super team and Santa's the lead.
Oh, isn't that with Nicolas Cage?
I don't know.
Or Hugh Jackman?
I don't know.
It's one of those.
Guardians something?
Guardians, yes. That's right.
No,
something
maybe,
Guardians.
or am I thinking it's the Rise of the Guardians?
That's right.
Yes.
You got there.
Right. I didn't, not that I would care for that movie, but look at that. Yeah. Hugh Jackman, Jude Law, Chris Pine.
It must be good.
Playing Jack Frost.
Hey, he sounds perfect.
Isla Fisher is the Tooth Fairy. Alec Baldwin is just North. Just somebody named North.
No. Like the Rob Reiner movie.
What was this another Guardians movies? The Owls of Ga'Hoole.
That's right.
So I don't know. It felt like it was something along the vein of that.
Yeah.
I could be fine with that enough.
Oh, shit.
What?
My friend, we've been talking about salaries lately with Jim Carrey.
Yeah.
Dwayne Johnson was paid for his involvement with the movie $50 million. I hope it was worth it, Dwayne. I hope it was worth it. Selling your soul.
But here's the deal. His buddies are making it. It's not like they had to lure him over. They were all involved in the gemination of this project. It was clearly just The Rock being like, well, let's find the money to pay me $50 million, guys. And they were like, yeah, sure, whatever. He wasn't like, oh, I don't know if I can fit that into my schedule. And they'd be like, $50 million. Like, they're all doing it together. He knows he's getting $50 million from the beginning. That's his goal.
So is it like $150 million budget? Then you have to pay Evans. What does Evans get? Like at least 25, right?
He gets the half deal. They're like 50,000. He's like, fine. I just want to work with The Rock so much.
I just want a movie. All my movies go straight to streaming. Is this one going to come out in theaters? Can I get some residuals?
Those Rise of the Guardians royalties aren't paying out as much as they used to.
It's the different Chris, my friend.
What? I thought it was. What did I say?
He's Chris Pine is in Rise of the Guardians.
Who's in this one?
Chris Evans.
Oh, Jesus.
God damn it, we just went over this.
I really thought we had settled on this being Chris Pine.
I've got a little bit for you. No, this is Chris Evans. He's the second to worst Chris.
Okay.
No one takes Pratt's seat. He's on a kingdom all on his own.
I don't count him as that because at least he looks different from them, so I can tell him apart.
Does he now?
I feel like he does.
They all got like dirty blonde brown hair with beards.
He's got very brown hair. It's very
they've all
easy
got
to
like
pick
the
him
beady
out.
eyes. No.
Yeah.
Chris Pine is grayish. He's got some gray. He's got the salt and pepper look. Sometimes he has long hair. Sometimes he has really short hair. Sometimes he rocks a beard. Sometimes he goes shaven commando. Let me tell you something. Filming began in October of 2022 in Atlanta and wrapped in February of 2023. Filming ran into issues with Johnson, who was an average of 7 to 8 hours late to film his scenes and missed several days of shooting. These delays reportedly increased the budget by $50 million to a total of $250 million, which Garcia disputed. It's a good ex-wife. Johnson later admitted to frequent tardiness as well as peeing in bottles, but Evans and Kasdan defended him.
Why does he need to pee in bottles?
Do you think he's going to want to peel out of that suit every time?
Oh, I see.
He just probably has a little chamber that he, like, zips.
Yeah, but then he could just go to the bathroom. I don't understand.
They need him on set. He's going to do some jumping or something. I don't know.
Like, maybe if the suit came with a little catheter thing, that they put into the bottle, but still, I don't know. 7 to 8 hours late, and everybody's defending him? He's got dirt on
He's
somebody.
such a good guy.
7 to 8 hours. It's your own fucking movie. They just paid you $50 million.
7 to 8 hours. That's like a regular work shift.
Well, but like a normal union shoot day is 12. Was he doing the Clint thing? He's like, one take and we're moving on.
Oh yeah, we gotta jump into this really quick.
Yeah.
Why does Santa refer to his reindeer as ladies all the time? That was off-putting. Come on, ladies.
Yeah, I don't know. Are they female reindeers?
I don't know, but it's just
Reindeer?
stop calling them ladies.
Come on, women.
Yeah, that's what Rock would say. Come on, woman.
Come on, gals. Slaps one in the butt.
Jesus. Here we go. Making him the highest paid actor to date. Yep.
For a movie that nobody will remember.
So Dwayne Johnson is now the highest paid actor to date. The previous record was a tie. The previous record was a tie for $40 million to Robert Downey Jr. for Captain America: Civil War and Will Smith for King Richard. Will Smith got $40 million for King Richard.
That is a movie
Was the
that
budget
could afford...
$41 million? Because
What? I can't believe they could afford to pay. That movie did not look like it cost more than $25 million.
I'm looking it up right now. That's insane.
Another movie
Holy
people will soon quickly forget. Good Lord.
I mean, the only reason why they're going to remember it is because he won his Oscar for slapping. I mean, that movie had a $50 million budget, and 40 of it went to Will.
At least Jim Carrey's only taken half of a budget.
Do you want to know how much money that movie made? You want to know?
$35 million.
Not too far off. 39.
Well, Will Smith got paid. That's all that matters, I guess.
Wow.
Is that post-slap? Was he just like hungry for anything?
That was what he won his Oscar for. That was the slap.
Oh, that's why he was there. Okay.
And then, he slapped Chris Rock, and then like 20 minutes later, he's got his Oscar, and it was like, okay,
super awkward.
So yeah, Johnson's previous best paydays were $22 million for Jungle Cruise and $20 million for Fast and Furious Presents Hobbs and Shaw, 2019. So I'm guessing he didn't get $20 million for his role in Fast X,
his 5-second role,
where his head was green screened on.
Well, they were like, listen, if you're not going to be here before 6 hours late, we got to just screen you in. Sorry, pal. He's like, it's all right. I'm finishing up peeing in these bottles. I'll be there momentarily.
Wow.
50 million. You went from 20 million to 50 million. Those fuckers. They're all just like milking. Not that I need to defend Amazon, but they're just milking Amazon for anything they're worth to pay The Rock $50 million so we can say he's the highest paid.
Dwayne Johnson's.
It's purely optics. Like, that's all that it is.
It's his second Red film after our favorite film that he ever made was Red Notice.
For a while, I thought this was going to be a sequel to it because it was just like Red 1 in development. And you're like, all right, well, the Red Notice just came out and everybody was excited for it for whatever reason. They're going to make 2 more at some point, I guess.
Yeah. Do you want
It's been 3 years.
There's no start
Nothing
date
on the
in sight.
horizon.
Let me see. Let me tell you how Red Notice is doing. Gotta talk about something.
Well, I was not at all surprised when the guy who invented putting people on a list was in Germany. That made a lot of sense to me. And I did not think that casting one of those bodyguards that Dwayne Johnson beats up who looks just like Vin Diesel. I did not believe that was an accident.
Probably not. In October 2022, it was announced that the script for the second film was finished, while work on the screenplay for the third movie is ongoing. Well, why don't you make a second movie before you make a script for the third one?
Well, that's why it's ongoing. They'll get the bones down and then change it based on aggressively targeted focus grouping.
Do you remember how much money that movie cost?
$200 million.
That's right.
Yeah, it's Lord of the Rings money.
It looked like it was made for $5 million.
Yes. Did not look very impressive.
They didn't go anywhere. It was the pandemic. They had to shoot
didn't
everything
go
in the
anywhere.
pandemic.
They weren't around each other. Everything was CG. The weapons were CG.
God.
All
Why does he
bad
do
all the
this?
time. Like, that's the thing, right? Like, I would take Red One over Red Notice every day. I'm going to pull up the list. I'm going to pull it up and figure out where I'm going to rank this fucking son of a bitch.
Well, you know what I'm going to take? I'm going to put my chips in on the smashing machine. Benny Safdie's new movie coming out next year, starring Dwayne The Rock Johnson and his co-star from Jungle Cruise. No, not Jesse Plemons. Emily Blunt.
I did not think it was. Yep.
I wish it was Jesse Plemons. Can you imagine Jesse Plemons just like, fucking his face up and just be like, I'm going to be your coach. It's great. I love it. Why can't we have it?
Can't have nice things in 2024, jokes. Hollywood's got to cannibalize itself.
I mean, we did get a great Jesse Plemons performance this year. A couple of them.
In what?
Civil War.
Oh, yeah. The 5 minutes of that he was in, yeah.
Hey, that was great.
Here's what I'm going to put Red One around.
What kind of American are you?
Yeah. I'm the sexy kind. All right, Joe.
Hell yeah.
Here's what I'm going to put it above, all right? I'm putting it above Planet 51 and Red Notice and Tooth Fairy and Race to Witch Mountain and Black Adam and DC League of Super Pets and The Game Plan and Journey to the Mysterious Island. And now I'm uncertain about these. We got maybe Fast X, maybe G.I. Joe Retaliation, maybe The Scorpion King, maybe San Andreas, maybe Rampage.
Where the fuck did I put Fast X? Did I not rank Fast X on here? Oh, because he's like, are we really putting Fast X on here? Okay, I will. I'll do it.
So I don't know. This might be around 26, 25, 24 out of 38 films. So you know what I would call that? That's a win for me.
I have this ranked number 34. It is in front of The Fate of the Furious, G.I. Joe Retaliation, Red Notice, Baywatch, Empire State, Planet 51, and Fast X. Fuck it. Fast X is one of the worst movies I've ever seen. I'm putting
Worse
that dead
than Planet
last.
51? You are insane. Worse than Red Notice? You are insane, sir.
All right. I did like John Cena. All right. I'll throw it above that. I did like John Cena.
At least at Fast X, people were where they were. You got to give them credit for that.
Sometimes John Cena was in that.
Red Notice, they were nowhere. Red Notice, they were in their basements.
I hated Baywatch. Ugh. You know what? The makeup's good enough to be over Race to Witch Mountain. I put it at number 33. That makeup's good. I like the practical makeup. I was like, I have one thing I can say positively about this.
Yeah, when we're first in the Santa compound, it's like mostly CGI creatures, and I was like, God damn it, guys. I even saw a credit where they were like, creature designs by blah. And I'm like, and you're still giving me this shit? But then, yeah, in Germany, they're like, we're old school.
The compositing of the reindeer with Dwayne and J.K. Simmons was so odd. Like, I was like, are they like a little bit bigger or are they gigantic? They look like giants next to them.
Well, you know, Dwayne can change his size, so.
Well, I meant the reindeer.
I know, but like in comparison to the reindeer.
Dwayne is 6'6".
Well, but he can change his size, Joe. We don't know how big he is at any given time.
Yeah, I just remembered he had that little gadget on his arm that took like the little Hot Wheels cars and made him into like a...
so many toys from the beginning, like in a James Bond style, like here's all your gadgets you're going to need. He didn't use half of them. The Slinky was not used.
I like the Rock and Sock robot.
Yeah, he's like, oh, are you going to get somebody to punch him? But like, ooh, the Slinky, I wonder what kind of kooky thing you're going to do with that. Ooh, Monopoly, that's going to be kind of nuts. That'll be interesting.
The Monopoly Man. It's Jim Carrey.
Yeah, he would come in and be like, go to jail, and then she'd be like thrown behind some bars or something. Like, that could have been cool. Nothing. Just cars and rock'em sock'em robots, and there was a chicken, I guess. What the fuck is a chicken toy? Who wants a chicken toy?
I don't know, but hold on. I'm looking at my rock rankings right now. I liked Jungle Cruise enough to put it number 10.
You're an insane person.
10?
And look at how The Rock's dividing us. This is what he wants. He wants to take us down from the inside.
10. I liked Jungle Cruise that. I gave it 2 stars. I haven't thought about that movie once. And I said, my review, I don't know, man.
Yeah, so it's like okay enough, I guess, right? Like,
yeah, I guess.
10. Number 10?
I mean, it's a really rough list.
I mean, really, yeah, basically it's like there's the worst of the worst and the stuff that's okay and everything else just kind of like falls in between.
I'll tell you, for about 30 seconds when this movie started, I was like, hey, at least maybe I'll like the Christmas shit. And then the kid like was an asshole and I'm like,
yeah, but that just means he's going to learn the spirit of Christmas. Of course he's an asshole. He's got to have an arc, Joe. It's Hollywood.
Yeah, but maybe, I don't know, maybe someone else could have had an arc and he could have been like the
Two
nice
people
guy.
had an arc. The Rock has an arc and this guy has an arc. The arcs help each other. It was, a simple idea, but efficient. By Chris, whatever, learning...
Evans.
I didn't want to say the wrong one. But Chris learning... the meaning of Christmas, The Rock refines his love of Christmas, like his hope for Christmas. So, it sort of worked well, worked nicely. That's why it's better than most of those films I just mentioned. Rampage.
You know what?
Yeah.
Yeah, Rampage. Well, I mean, it's already pretty high up, so I guess I can't put it higher.
I was like, The Rock's IP movies make so much stupid money. I felt bad that this movie's going to make like nothing, because at least it was attempting to be somewhat original.
This movie has already made $27 million.
Wow. On Thursday?
It had preview screenings, remember, last weekend? And it's like, it's got a slow rollout since like Halloween. Like they're just like, hey, here you go. So, I mean, it's from like some theaters here and there. It's gained about $27 million in the last 3 weeks.
Yeah.
And I guess that's what it's projected to make this weekend. So I guess it'll have a nice little like $50 to $60 million weekend.
Not probably what your $250 million movie wants.
No, and it's definitely not going to make that back because it has so much competition coming up.
It's got Dwayne's other movie coming out.
Yeah, which I'm holding on to a little hope. I really like the first Moana. I know you don't, but
I mean, I like the ending. No, I'm not excited about it. I'll watch it. Maybe it will look good in the wake of Red One.
Yeah,
Which again looked good in the wake of half of The Rock's other films.
Jesus Christ. Have you seen the makeup job that is going on with The Rock in this Smashing Machine movie?
No.
Holy shit. Very impressive. I trust Benny Safdie. I think we might have a good Rock movie coming up.
I don't know, Joe. The Rock's gonna fuck it up somehow in like the press tour or something. He's just gonna make me hate it.
Well, yeah, the press tour, but that's not, that doesn't have to do with the movie.
I know, but I'm gonna have to work hard to separate it, but it's gonna trickle in there.
I wonder when it's going to release. Is it going to be a spring release? Because the movie's done. It's all done being made. Or do you think it'll be like an awards play in the fall? Do you think The Rock's going to try to go for an Oscar?
Yep, I
crazy.
definitely do. I think that's part of what's going to be the annoying press tour thing. And so I kind of want it to come out in November, because if it comes out in March, I'm going to have like 9 months of him like casually reminding us that this movie came out and how hard he worked to transform himself. Get lost in the role. I really just wanted to go try a new direction and find something deep in myself that I haven't found. I don't want any of that. I won't be able to handle it.
Well, it's got an A24 release, so that's a sign of some quality. They don't really usually fuck it up too bad.
I know, but here's the deal. The Rock says to A24, I want to be in one of your films and I will charge you less than $50 million. They're going to go, great. We've already sold out with Civil War. Come on down.
That movie's fine. I came around to it, and I think you know why.
Yes, we all know why.
Why? Do you know why?
Jesse Plemons.
Yeah, I love Jesse Plemons, but this year I have developed a little crush on one Kaylee Spaney. Priscilla, Civil War, and Alien Romulus.
Who is she in Civil War?
The other photographer that's not Kirsten Dunst.
Oh, yes, okay.
The one that lives. Spoiler.
Well, I had a little crush on the waitress, but she didn't get to do much in this movie, so not well utilized.
Yeah, I mean, I knew they weren't going to give her much. They didn't give anybody that much to do in this. It was so bland. Ugh, I did not like this movie. I was thoroughly bored.
I thought it was an okay reinvention of the Santa Claus mythos.
That's wild.
It was like, all those things that they taught us in like high school physics class about like how impossible it would be for Santa to do that. They kind of like attempted to address, and like they have acknowledged that like, yeah, Santa, you're going to burn 4 million calories doing this. You got to eat up now.
Yeah, swole Santa. We all saw it coming.
Yeah, so now he's like all jacked and he's got to like work out every day, and he's just they've got like a whole.
He's on the rock diet.
Yes. And they've got this like extreme system of like present delivery, and like they have a sack that the main elves on the sled are filling up for Santa, and then like a drone's got to come in with a replacement sack for the elves to work on. I didn't mind those attention to details.
All right, well. Guess you're easy then.
Yeah, that's usually you.
I am usually the easy. Like it was just too much.
Your Christmas movies are my every other movie. That's, I guess, what we're learning here.
I was just, it's really hard to get me back on the rocks like side again. That's why I'm hoping Benny Safdie can do it. I don't want to be against the guy. I just think he makes boring, bland decisions. Yeah, he was wearing some green and red, so he changed it up from his like regular brown tight ass shirt that he usually wears
in the jungle.
Yeah. They still managed to get like a jungly look in this at some point because of the snowman and the tiki bar thing.
But not jungly. That's tropical, Joe. It's very different.
Tropical. I still saw trees. I don't want to see any. The only trees I want to see in my Christmas movie are pine trees.
Well, you got Chris Pine.
No, I have Evans. I have Evans. Get it right.
Jeez.
I don't want Evans, and I have him.
Fuck. We just went over that too. Good Lord.
We have been going over it all episode, and you will not listen to me.
At least I haven't. Chris Pine and Evans, for whatever reason, seem to be confusing. Maybe because their name, Hemsworth, at least stands out a little more as a last name, so I can kind of separate it from the other two, I guess.
What about Pratt?
Well, I know they're not Pratt because Pratt looks different from them.
You say that, but he doesn't.
He does.
He looks exactly the same.
He's got schmuck face. I can tell.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not better.
And his hair is very different from them. It is.
It's a little curly.
It's got a little curl. It's darker than their hair. He's easy for me to tell apart. I can tell him apart. I've never worried about him. And the gaggle of Chris's, he was fine.
Ooh, this will be fun. I'm going to look up all the Chris's, and I want you to tell me their ages. I just got Chris Pratt. I did not know he was that old. Okay. Did not know he was that old either. Chris Evans. All right. Chris Hemsworth. I mean, I guess they should be getting old because they've been around for... Oh, that's good. All right. And Chris Pine. So I want you to first tell me which is the oldest Chris. Evans, Pine, Pratt, or Hemsworth.
Okay, which one was in this movie? Evans?
Evans.
I think it's Pine then.
Pine, you think is the oldest. Okay, well, wrong.
I thought you said he had the gray hair, so I would thought that
he
was
does.
a safe
He
bet.
grayed early though, and he didn't dye it.
He wasn't eating well.
No, he didn't dye the hair. He didn't dye the hair.
It's all right. I knew what you were saying, Joe.
Do you think he doesn't eat well? He's so handsome.
If a woman started graying, we wouldn't be saying that about her. Sexist Joe.
Yeah, who does any? I can't think of any that's like prominent. Who's like a younger lady with gray hair?
Men get to become silver foxes. Women just become hags. It's all your
That's
fault,
rude.
Joe.
Well, are you gonna guess who's the oldest?
Okay,
You gave up pretty
all
quick.
right. Well, you said Chris Pratt was sneaky old, so I'm gonna go Pratt.
Yeah, it is Pratt. He's
Okay.
45. He's the oldest. Do you want to guess the youngest?
This one, whoever was in this movie.
Evans? No.
Okay, Hemsworth then.
That's right. 41.
So they're all in the 40s, just hanging out in that vicinity.
That's right. 41, 43, 44, and 45.
Who's 44? Is that the graying one?
That's right.
Okay.
That's Pine.
Gotcha. So Pratt, Pine, Evans, Hemsworth.
That's right.
Okay.
Oh, 2 August birthdays and 2 June birthdays. Oh, and they're only like 2 weeks apart each. That's nice. Very sweet. Very sweet of their parents to do that all to everybody.
Just something about summer births and the name Christopher.
And Pine's from California.
All right. If we're just going to go over the Chris's, I'll just wrap up the episode.
Nothing wrong with going over the Chris's.
All right. Pine's from California. Where's the other ones?
Evans is from Boston.
Boston? You liking the socks? That's wicked pizza.
Very nice. I actually used to like Evans when he first started out. Before he was Captain America, that's when he went bland.
In the Legend of the Guardians, you were a big fan.
Jesus Christ. It's not even Legends of the Guardians. It's Rise of the Guardians, and that's Pine!
Jesus Christ.
No, Chris Evans was the, shitty jock in Not Another Teen Movie.
Oh.
Yeah, he used to be funny. And then he's like a doofus action hero, but the fun kind with Kim Basinger and Jason Statham and William H. Macy and holy shit, I'm gonna tie it all together, baby. Do you remember the movie Cellular?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Do you know who wrote Cellular?
Chris Evans?
Chris Morgan.
Oh! That was a Stephen King movie, right?
Oh, no, that's a different Cellular.
Okay. Okay, then I guess I don't know this one.
That's okay. But that's fun. I'm glad we tied. We got to end it now. That was too good.
Oh, God.
I liked him as Johnny Storm in the original Fantastic Four movies when I was.
I'm a little embarrassed at how quickly that character from Not Another Teen Movie popped into my brain.
Because that's a funny time.
I didn't even like that movie that much, and it was just there and ready to go. It's just hanging out in my brain somewhere when useful stuff could be there.
I mean, it's a strange cast.
It's Jamie Lee Presley.
Yep, Randy Quaid,
the guy from How I Met Your Mother for 5 seconds.
Eric Christian Olsen, the guy that's on NCIS.
Yes.
Got Sam Levine, Lacey Chabert. Josh Radnor. That's what you were saying earlier.
Yeah.
And you got cameos from Molly Ringwald,
yep.
Mr. T, Melissa Joan Hart, Paul Gleason, and Good Charlotte.
Mr. T comes in as the wise janitor. Fool, you better get in that game.
I do not remember that. That used to be my sister's favorite movie.
Yeah, see, too much of this movie is stuck into my head. I don't feel good about that.
Yeah.
Secret shame. All right, well, let's thank our sponsor, Malls. They're not just place for zombies and Romero films. You can actually go there to shop. I'd like to thank Lev Van Rensselaer for minding those audio boards and keeping the sound so slippery smooth. I'd like to thank my co-host Joe Vekeman for stopping by.
I'm here. Thanks for having me.
And I am your host, Patrick Scale. You can find my features, documentaries, short films, video essays, animations, behind-the-scenes footage, and so much more at QuixoticUnited.com and social media, presumably with a similar sounding name. Thank you all for listening. Joe, say goodnight.
Good night.
I was at the theater 4 times this week, Joe.
Wow.
That's right. Thanks to my subsidized film subscription plan / donations. Monday.
Yeah, what'd you see?
The Art Theater. Lady from Shanghai was screening there for Noirvember. Get it? That's one of my favorites, so I was happy to check that one out in theater. Orson Welles rocking an Irish accent for reasons I still don't understand. This time I was like, maybe there's a cultural subtext or it's going to be part of the character. I feel like anyone could be a sailor. It doesn't have to be an Irish guy as a sailor. I don't know. Maybe he just said, it'd be fun if I did an accent, and I'm producing it, so I'm going to do that. And then Tuesday, went back to the Art Theater to see Meanwhile on Earth, French sci-fi thing. Woman whose brother gets lost in space, and then these aliens try to use her to turn some people into pod people so she can get her brother back.
Jeez.
Quietly sci-fi. Was a fan of that one.
So it's nice. Was it new or old?
I think it's new.
No.
Some of the AMCs were playing it too. And one other person was in that theater with me. I felt bad for the movie, but also it was like 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Maybe people have normal jobs and lives. Wednesday, back at the Art Theater for One You'll Like, Honora. That was a raucous crowd for
Hell yeah.
for 2 o'clock in the afternoon.
Hell yeah.
Surprising amount of like grungy, tattoo, punk, Hot Topic looking people.
Yeah. Sex workers.
Hey, all right, ladies. I'm going to give you some of my popcorn.
Excuse me.
And then yesterday, we all know what I saw because we're talking about it today. Had to go to the AMC for it, IMAX.
Well, I went to the Regal.
You went to RPX.
Yeah. Can't believe you saw this in fucking IMAX.
It was the earliest
I
show
must have
time.
been bleeding by the end of this.
I didn't notice really anything.
IMAX stuff?
As the movie ended, I was like, was any IMAX involved? Like,
No, what they probably did was they're like, we could probably eat up screens this week before Gladiator and Wicked come over on these IMAX screens. So we're just going to reformat the picture and stretch it really badly. I've seen them do that before.
it didn't feel bigger. It didn't feel it just felt like I could have been on a regular screen and I wouldn't have noticed like a difference.
Damn. Indictment of Jake Kasdan as a director.
There were some little Kasdans in the credits, some minor roles. He's doing the Sandler thing, I guess.
Do you know who his dad is?
I imagine the Star Wars Kasdan.
Yeah.
Fucking Nepo babies. Once again, talentless Nepo babies coming.
Well, I'll tell you. I mean, I haven't seen his first 3 features, but he has made one hell of a banger in Walk Hard, the Dewey Cox Story. A movie that indicted all of the crappy music biopics and just like took him to task, and it was great.
And yet they still come out.
I know. It's like they forgot about Mr. Dewey Cox.
We need a sequel, I guess.
It's like that movie like makes fun of Bohemian Rhapsody 15 years before it came out.
That's well, they watched it, obviously. The Screamer Eye's like, shit, I gotta throw together this stupid Bohemian Rhapsody thing, and in like 2 weeks, I need to steal something. Let me watch Dewey Cox. They know the structure well.
This is how you win an editing award? I mean, he's directed some Freaks and Geeks episodes, some New Girl episodes, Fresh Off the Boat. He has directed our Jumanji duology.
Yeah, I thought he must have done a rock thing. It sounded familiar.
He's done Rock's 3 Rock movies now. His last 3 movies have been Rock movies.
What happened to Marshall Thurber? Lawrence? I don't know. He had a weird name.
The 3 made up names. Yeah. The word salad. Ross and Marshall Thurber.
Yeah, that was close.
The director of Dodgeball. I mean, that's probably his best movie.
High bar.
Let's just start this. We're not even started yet.
Yeah. Okay.
Introduce the show.
All right. I'm drinking water.